really not contemporary, but it was
like pop standards,
movie music, Broadway music.
Oh,
and
how cool!
What they started with was oh God, what was the piece that they played? It was a Victory at Sea.
Oh, yeah.
It was the 1950s TV show, and that had an entire piece.
Rogers?
Is
that Richard Rogers that wrote that? I'm trying to think who
know,
wrote
but it's
that.
like...
Oh, it's fantastic. It's the entire G. Gordon Liddy Show production package is what it is.
And then they wrapped up the concert with E.T., the John Williams score, the last 10 minutes of the movie E.T., which was cool, so you would have loved that.
Found it.
Okay,
the Pierre Montour School.
Yes.
That's what it's called, for conductors and orchestra. I can't even read this. Read this font, please.
Yeah, okay. Conductors and orchestra musicians.
Can you read that?
Of course.
I can't.
You know, a little culture for me. It's my second week in a row doing this, and it was great to go with my sister to see this. You know, it's out in the middle of the woods. It's out in the middle of this pine grove.
This is so cool.
How many pieces of
Who would have thought that this was out there? That is awesome.
I mean, this has been there for years, and this is correct me if I'm wrong. They get the best of the best up here to do this. Their alumni is
How
amazing.
big of an orchestra was it? Was it 100 pieces?
Full orchestra.
Wow.
Full orchestra.
The score was by Richard Rogers. Richard Rogers did the music for Victory at Sea. Wow.
So, you know, I've been doing that and, you know, getting a little culture, which is, God knows I need a little culture. I truly, truly do. And then on Saturday night, went to my sister's house and got a chance to meet their friends. And this guy was just about the coolest cat that I've ever had a chance to chat with. And I had no idea. I knew they were friends of my sister. And the guy's name is Pell, and he is
first or last name.
Pell is. And he retired, you know, years ago doing that. But he knows all these guys. He knows the story. The Tubes, you know, he's telling stories about the Tubes, and he's telling stories about Toto when he was working with Toto, and just he really raved about them as far as the musicianship of Toto.
About your age, would you say? Roughly your age?
Older, much older, about 10 years older than me.
Oh, okay. So he's really been around for a while.
He's done it a long time, and it was just cool. And you know, and I have to little tip of the old little brother cap to my sister. You know, hanging out with some pretty cool people. I was pretty thrilled to be a part of that. You know, I always thought that it was pretty much investment bankers, and you know, and people that were just plain smarter than me that intimidated the hell out of me.
Is the term salt?
Guy was a smart guy.
Is the term salt to the earth?
You know, basically when we got the boot over at CBS, we had to take a different path.
Right.
We were kind of, in fairness to the the guys that do it on their own, we were forced to take the path. We had to create something of our own. But it's interesting to me that you meet people like that I don't want to say off the grid, because this is a civilized area up here. But it's pretty wild. It's kind of like Alaska up here, isn't it?
Well, the thing is that, you know, there are very
London, reconditioning guitars and selling them to rock musicians over in London. Old Fender guitar. It was just, far be it for me to sit there with my mouth shut all night long, but it was just cool listening. And could not be a nicer guy, and it was just, it was cool. I like that, and I was just, I was very impressed with my old sis that she hung out with people like this. It was kind of neat.
I like the fact.
Wonderful little Pops concert in the woods, and my sister says it's a 5 o'clock concert, and she says I'll pick you up at 20 of 5. Well, 20 of 5 doesn't cut it with this concert folk because they get there at 5 o'clock.
Yes.
So when we got there, there was not a seat to be had. There were singles, and that's again I've mentioned it twice, but the Napoleon reaction to me when I go,
oh. And you're a married man.
I'm a married man,
not a swinging single.
Well, I'm also, I'm not the kind of guy that you're going to see raising his hand excitedly to sit in the middle seat on an airplane, if you know what I mean.
I feel you.
Because, not because I can't sit there, but because I know what the reaction's going to be. And so they said, we've got a single over here and a single over there. And Kathy says, okay, I'll see you at intermission. I'm like, all right, go ahead.
So it was just you and your sister?
Yeah, and then I looked later, and Kathy got like an aisle seat. Meanwhile, I have to go through the Golden Girls parade to sit in the middle of this row, and you
are
see,
they benches or are they seats? What is
they're
it like?
Folding chairs.
Oh, how nice!
And Rob, you've gotten this too. You get it on airplanes. And I know now that I am literally. You could have measured the number. You could have counted the number of seats. I am dead in the middle of this row.
The worst.
And I get this. This is for the Ustreamers, for the people that are watching us on video.
Right.
I get this look from everybody as I'm going into the middle row. You see people going.
Yeah. Typical.
They give the little head shake. They give the little head shake because they know, oh, fat man coming through. And I'll tell you, I sat there for the first 10 minutes of that concert,
right?
Just working myself into a frenzy, saying to myself, "You will not." I'm gonna use that imagery for a year. I will not put myself in that situation again. I will not be the biggest guy in the effing row and sit there between the two bony old people who were. The one on my right was very, very nice. Mm-hmm. The lady whose toes I almost stepped on. And by the way, old people. Well, the protocol is if somebody's going into the middle of the row, I get up, I stand up. I don't put my bony little knees together and then turn to the side because I got news for you. I'm too big to get by you when you do that. So if you get your toes stepped on, it's not my effing fault.
Oh, and speaking of protocol,
very embarrassing.
This is a big guy question. I'm curious.
And, I'll get back to it. We have to take a break. I will talk to you about what I did in the chair because I got a hammy thing, like a Charlie horse, about 2/3 into the concert.
No. Did you catch the name of the brand of folding chair?
No, that's your thing. I know that you pay attention.
I was thinking it would be a great endorsement for them if it made it through the whole show.
Oh, my God.
Were you there? We'll take a break. Come back with more of the Mike O'Mara Show.
Mike, the show has a lot of friends.
We do have a lot of friends, absolutely.
No better friends than the folks at Encore Insurance. They've been with us forever, and they stay with us. And the thing that I love about them is the service they provide. there is nothing less fun than shopping life insurance. And Mike, if you go to Encore, they'll do it for you. Did you know this?
Rob, give the phone number to everybody because this is one of our pushes for our best sponsor, Encore, where we like to get people on board and we like to people at least to make the inquiry for the free Encore quote, because that is something that they like us to do for them, and we like to do because they've supported us for so long. I got news for you. We have partnerships with our advertising people. We really do. And this is a time where you can step up, and you have no obligation whatsoever, but give them the phone number for Encore.
It's so easy. Just dial 1-866-347-5748. That number again, 866-347-5748, or even easier, go to smartterm.com. Just check it out. They could save you a lot of money for a great, great service. No salesman will visit you. Just make the call. It's the best.
Yep. Of you reading the book at the Eiffel Tower in
the Eiffel
Hawaii.
Tower was great. There's
your trip to the beach.
Good foggy one in Maine this morning posted too.
I didn't see that one yet.
Yeah, there's a new one that went up this morning. I see you got some fog up there. I get my weather report by looking at where the people have.
Really loves himself, like to a complete different degree than I ever thought he did.
It goes, you know what? It's
they do when they get the flavor of the month and they cast her in a big role. So the movie was Oscar. I don't even know who.
I don't know if he's on the brink of being actually decently good looking. So he's almost
because he works out and he's in great shape.
He's almost like too good looking to play that character that's like your lovable loser, because when he isn't playing that character and they like fast forward into this MIDI reality, he actually, you're like, okay, he can do all of this. Like I could have seen him doing all of this.
He's not quite good looking enough to be the leading man, and he's not as doofy as he used to be.
He's not as dorky as
been unbelievably generous to invite me to
The best guy.
the screening that he had right in the Washington, D.C. area, and I am absolutely as mortified as anybody will ever be because my phone started ringing, and I was late for the screening, and it really did traumatize me.
And you passed ass front in front of Patton's parents.
Yes. I actually went under a bar at the Alamo Cinema and Draft House. And you know, I had to pull myself up and my phone going, while that's happening. I actually played the ringer. But it really did freak me out. So flash forward to this classical music concert.
Right.
And the classical music concert is, if there is one audience where you require silence.
Yes.
It is at a classical music. Maybe a Broadway play would be another. A dramatic Broadway play might be another example where you don't want
Or a
that to
disc
happen.
jockey show at the State Theater.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you.
And so I'm sitting there and dealing with the embarrassment of being one of the last people seated and sitting in this row, being big, and you can practically hear people go,
Yeah.
fat ass.
And I'm sure you're
Mr.
sad.
Fat Ass.
You're also sad because you're not with your sister.
Well, let's not go too far about it. So I'm sitting in there, and I realize at maybe a quarter of the way into the concert, I said, "Oh my God, my phone is on." And if the only one that's going to call me during this concert is going to be Carla, and you know Carla's ringer, right?
Right.
Let me just for purposes of illustration, I learned this ringer, by the way, from Mr. Oscar Santana.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
Oscar remembers when his phone went off, and I actually I showed my teeth laughing. I thought it was the funniest thing that I'd ever heard, ever.
And this
in
is
my life.
exclusively Carla's ringer, right? If I were to call you, this wouldn't be the ringer.
Yeah, and if you want to play along at home, you would switch your ringer to your loved one because a lot of significant others say you never answer when I pick up. You don't hear your ringer. You don't do that, and
Right.
most people don't do that on purpose. It's simply you just don't hear a call, and unfortunately,
happens.
the person, the loved one in your life, takes it as a personal affront, right?
Especially in my situation with Carrie, where we're really on thin ice as it is. So she's really second guessing every move.
So
Now the ringer that I use for all my other calls is
Yes.
the traditional old timey phone.
Yeah, the Donna Reed
the
ringer.
old timey phone. And
Great
I'm trying
ring.
to think. Do you know
Yes.
what the name of it is, Oscar?
Alarm.
Is it alarm?
That's
Yes.
alarm.
That's what it is. So I switched my
So
ringer at
if-
one point to alarm.
And Oscar, he got a call from his significant other, and I laughed as hard as anybody. I said, "Is that the ring?" And it's just, and I've still, as Oscar will tell you, you get that laugh still to this
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, sure
when
enough.
the dude will hear that that's somebody else. So about a quarter of the way into the concert, I am sitting there going, "Okay, I've made the spectacle by being the fat guy in the purple polo shirt, sitting down in the middle of two skinny people, pressing my fat arms up against their shoulders so that they're uncomfortable. What's going to happen is the classical music piece that is being played, there will be a lull in that, and then Carla will call me, and I will get the. Oh, hold on a second. I will get this, which is the alarm sound effect.
And it's going to have to be during a quiet passage. A quiet passage of classic.
And there
Maybe
were.
just flutes. Just
Right.
flutes.
Or some violin.
Maybe. While your mind is racing, where is your phone?
It is in my front left pocket.
Okay, all right.
And I realized that in order for me, with these chairs jammed in, sardined into this concert hall,
and I have to imagine, are the chairs like the white folding?
Said to myself, I have to, during the concert, during the music being played, I have to access this phone. So is it the fear of it? What are you showing? Ford, what are you saying? What did you do now that everybody is picking on me? What is it? Are mega talented, but I said in order for me to access the phone in my left front pocket, I'm going to have to dig my elbow into the right tricep of this lady that's next to me, this 90-year-old woman who's next to me.
You know what
and
you could have done?
I don't want to do that.
What you could have done to save, Mike, here's how you save the day.
How?
What you do is wait after a particularly impressive movement and then burst into a standing ovation. And then while you're standing, you whip out the phone.
Sure, I'll get right on that. That
you could have done that.
No, they switch conductors during the different pieces.
Okay.
So when they don't finish the whole piece and then they switch conductors. So they do that and they're applauding. Mm-hmm. And I get up, I just lift my butt up in the air and I grab it. And I grab the phone and I just thrust my hand into my left pocket. And I said, okay, if I bump this lady, say la vie, but I get it out and I don't just shut the phone off. I don't put it on silent because I don't trust that.
Right.
I power down the entire phone.
Big win.
There you are.
I power down the entire phone. I'm trying, Oscar, to actually lock the phone up more often so I don't butt dial you as much as I've done in the past, and I try to do this. So flash forward to the intermission goes through, everything's fine, and then we get to the end of the concert. And for the last half hour of this concert, I am fighting a hamstring issue on these piece of crap chairs that are designed for 37-pound people, and I'm trying desperately to get through because it is pain. It's the kind of pain you would experience for anybody that's ever played sports. It's the kind of pain you get when you're maybe doing sprints at the end of the day and it gets a little frustrating, and you're playing through the pain. You're playing through the pain, and I am experiencing this hammy pain where I cannot position myself in the proper. And at this point, after intermission, it opened up a little bit, and I had actually a little elbow room.
Did one of the old people leave?
Somebody had to split because I wasn't pressing up against the. Yes, that's right, Rob. They died.
They
died during the intermission.
Mike, everybody has their time.
They could have forgotten to take their Flomax.
They hit the pisser. They do at intermission. They truly, truly do. So I am adjusting, and then I'm readjusting, and then suddenly the other paranoid fact comes in. Because I've had another moment of embarrassment with chairs. Rob was probably there for this. Do you remember the anniversary of 9/11 at the Pentagon?
Yes.
When I sat in the folding chair underneath Wolf Blitzer's viewpoint for CNN, and I crushed it, and it collapsed in the bleachers, and it went thwack, and Wolf Blitzer actually laughed at me because the chair had flattened down.
What they had done is they had actually set up bleachers, Oscar, and then on the bleachers they built
Being
platforms.
fat is no picnic, Oscar.
So that
a riser.
Yeah, but you see, because the bleachers, they're like the stadium seating.
Yes.
But then they'd use the platform so it was level. Mike, I don't think you actually broke the chair. I think it scooted back and fell off the back of the platform. To be fair to you.
You're very kind. I crushed it.
Really?
I crushed it.
I
It
think
collapsed.
what you told me is that it fell off then. I bought it. I bought it hook, line, and sinker.
I'm trying, and do you remember, Rob? Because I still remember it to this day, and we're going back to 2002.
Yes.
And I am really trying to be Mr. Cool Guy and going, okay, what time's the broadcast start? Okay, somebody want to let me know? Oh! And I look up, and
Oh no.
I'm looking up at old two-paid Wolf Blitzer going. Look at that dude.
Oh no.
Look at the fat DJ just fell. Dude, look at that fell.
no.
So I'm readjusting, and I'm hearing the chair go. The chair's going, no. No. But I had to try to get comfortable because I
Sure.
was hurting, and it did not collapse. And the concert was over, and I sprinted out, and I found my sister, and we drove home.
And you
that
walked.
was it.
You found your sister walking like Fred Sanford. You just couldn't. Did you? It was the kind of thing that once you're able to walk a little bit, did
Yeah.
it right itself?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
That
good,
was fine.
good.
What
Thank
was
God for
the
that.
What was the concert like?
The concert was incredible. As I said, the Pops version of it where they
Okay.
did E.T. and they did Victory at
cool.
Sea, and then they did, of course, they did the medley of Les Miserables, which they have to do. Which is so, absolutely. F that musical, really.
Yeah.
F that musical, that overblown,
Whatever happened to South
overexposed, they're-
Pacific?
Right, exactly.
My Fair Lady, for once.
How about Fiddler on the Roof?
Please,
okay?
wouldn't that be nice? Be
Thank
good.
you.
to have
How about a tribute to Elaine Stritch?
Yeah, Mike, too soon.
Yeah, sorry, okay. Real quick before we go to break, Oscar.
Chess?
Some 8 million people have Chagas disease. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
A life-threatening illness passed to humans by kissing bugs, or triatamines, that live in Latin America. In the U.S., few people know about the disease, but the CDC figures that some 300,000 people may be infected here. In countries like Bolivia, which has the highest rate of Chagas in the world, it's standard practice to screen expectant mothers for the disease, since they could pass it on to their children. You have never heard of this?
No, I haven't, but I'm looking at the bug that gives you kissing bug disease.
Have you seen those bugs? Have you seen them before in Bolivia?
Creepy. They kind of look like what are those bugs that are around all the time here? We have them here in the studio. once in a
Stink
while.
bugs.
Stink bugs.
Stink
Yeah, they
bugs?
kind
Oh.
of look like stink bugs, but they look more venomous.
Mike,
It's a combination-
An evil stink bug.
It looks like a combination of a stink bug and that's what they look like. Well, that's a
Yeah.
stink bug, isn't it?
No.
It's a
the bug.
relative. of
You've
the
got
stink bug.
you've got some clear pigmentation here where you've got almost a leopard print on the outside of the stink bug.
Mike,
Exactly.
you once theorized that stink bugs came from outer space.
They are. Look at the shape.
I agree.
Look at the shape. They're shaped exactly like our stealth
A
fighters.
flying saucer.
And then they
Yeah.
made it with this Bolivian bug.
Yeah, that's why
That's
they're shaped
scary.
like that. So when the eventual attack occurs, they will not be available to be seen on radar.
We're
I'm just
doomed.
telling you what I know.
We're
Yeah.
doomed. But who's going around kissing these bugs?
Yes, awareness is growing, especially in places like Virginia. You know why?
Why?
Because Virginia reports the state has more Bolivians than any other state.
that may be true.
That's why I pulled the article. Dozens of cases have cropped up in the region. So
Wow.
when your boy over there
No.
gets quarantined, you'll know the reason.
Be
There
careful.
it
Well,
is.
thank God he's living in D.C. now.
We'll take a break. Come back with the Mike O'Mara Show right after this.
Every Monday, listen to the gut-wrenching, tongue-twisting action on Americast. Get heart-pounding clips from the Mike O'Mara Show. Tech 411, Rob and Joe Show, and Cake and Cookies, the Rob and Katie Show. Hear fans of More Broadcasting say tear apart through More Broadcasting on iTunes, Stitcher, and of course, MikeO'MaraShow.com. Catch the action. Americast, part of the More Broadcasting Network.
Marcus Serta.
How about that?
Marcus Serta is bringing it, and
He
I
is a
appreciate
10.
that.
That is
what-
great.
Marcus, that's my fave.
When
That
I
is
opened
my
that
all-time
file, I
favorite.
threw my head back and laughed. I loved it.
Kudos, and that's Omericast right on the More Network. He does a wonderful recap of everything we're talking about on all the different shows on the More Network. Omericast with Marcus Serta, all the way up in Vermont. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Welcome back to the show. Face it, shaving is a pain. It's uncomfortable with nicks and cuts and the razor burn. Trust me, severe blood loss, not the way to start your day.
Oh, it's horrible.
We are here to tell you about Harry's.com. Harry's.com was started by two guys who wanted a better product without having to pay a small fortune to get it. They probably experience what you and I have experienced, where you're in a drugstore and you go down the shaving aisle and you see the razor blades. The pony just fell over. And
you all right, Matt?
His folding chair just fell.
Yeah.
You
Get him
go
a
and
Hercules.
You see these razor blades, and they are behind a plexiglass case, and they're ridiculously overpriced. And Harry said no more of that. Harry's razors are better for your face. As a matter of fact, the multiple razor that I got has those 4 wonderful blades.
Oh, it's
Beautiful.
so great. It's the best razor I've ever put on my face.
Great for your face and your wallet. They're about half the price of other big brand name blades. Or big brand name blades. They're about half the price of other big brand blades.
That's the way.
You write it, I read it.
Exactly.
Very good. The starter set is an amazing deal. For $15, you get a razor, moisturizing shave cream, and 3 razor blades with free shipping. My cousin Teddy said to me as we're walking over in Bar Harbor, he says, so let me get it straight. If I buy these razors, I'll help your show?
Yes.
I said, absolutely. He said,
You
well, that
bet.
sounds like a pretty good deal. Why are you paying $32 or more for an 8-pack of blades when it's half that price at Harry's?
It's true.
That's the bottom line. We're talking about half price.
So
We're talking
true.
about razors that are better than the razors you get in the drugstore. On average, an everyday shaver saves $150 a year on blades using Harry's instead of other blades. And remember, Harry's blades are the best. Experience a clean, close, comfortable shave today at Harry's. Go to harrys.com now, and Harry's will give you $5 off if you type in our code. That is going to be a total of $10 you're spending to get the entire shave kit.
Exactly.
We love that. Do that. Type in our code TMOS. Do it with your first purchase. That's HARRYS.com, and enter coupon code TMOS at checkout for this limited time offer, and start shaving better today with Harry's. We thank you in advance.
Mike, look at this magnificent orb right here.
Yes.
Thank you, Harry's.
Looking good,
Thank you,
man.
Harry's, for
Looking
keeping
good.
my head looking great.
That's right. Thank you, Rob Spiewak. And now let's get right to it, everybody.
From around the globe, across the nation, looking through your neighbor's window. The Mike O'Mara Show now presents News You May Not Need. A comprehensive look at the stories you may or may not be talking about during your daily activity. And now, News You May Not Need.
Sarah Palin has started her own subscription-based online network. Yay!
Have you seen Did you see the movie? Her video?
I did not. Oh, is
She's
it
got now. I don't know what she's done. Her eyebrows are pointy now, so she
Right.
looks surprised. I had it for the audio. Do you want to hear a little bit of it? Because
Absolutely.
it is so Sarah Palin-y, this will turn your stomach.
Hello, and welcome to a new project. This is a news channel that really is a lot more than news. This is a community where we're going to be able to share ideas and discuss the issues of the day.
Yeah, way to go. Anyway, she calls it a direct connection between the former Alaska governor and the GOP vice presidential candidate and her supporters. No need to please the powers that be, she says. Okay, whatever. Anyway,
Boo!
just go away.
Don't
really.
you think that this is quite a fall from grace from where she was?
Oh,
it
my
would
God.
have been different if she had a great run on Fox or had a great
Right.
run on one of those conservative
No,
channels.
she can't. She doesn't have anything to back it up, Oscar. And I think ultimately that is why she has fallen from grace within her own party. Because, well, you throw in the fact that she quit the governorship, and that's a big deal
That was
in
strange.
the world of politics. So
Yes.
that, but it really, look, it's Sarah Palin, and I'm not going to try to say that it's a surprise that she's made some bad moves, with the reality TV show and everything she's done. She's no longer a viable, credible political force in the Republican Party, and I think that's a good thing.
She never really was. If you watch the movie and read about it.
She was back in 2012.
Yeah, remember when she was running for vice
But
president?
what I'm saying is that she was elevated to that position without being properly vetted, and I'm not sure that once all the dust settled, they made the right choice at all. This might be, Mike, right where she belongs.
No, but Rob, I think what Oscar's saying, what I'm saying to you, she was there, and regardless of whether she was vetted, she had the gravitas to be the vice president. And
Okay,
so
I
she
see
was
that.
there. She was in. I mean, she was the nominee of the Republican Party. After that, if she had been reconditioned and repackaged and re-educated,
They could have fixed it.
She
chose
could have been
not.
a TV star if she could have handled that. She could
Yeah.
have been a best-selling author multiple times if she could
Right.
have handled
Yeah.
that.
Can't handle any of it.
She could have continued being governor and just collected that paycheck and served her constituency.
And maybe still been a factor in the
Yes.
Republican Party. Now they've wised up, and it only took them about 6 years, so that's good.
Right on top of it.
Casey Kasem's dead body could be locked away in a funeral home for months, and the star's children may never know where he is to be buried. That's according to his family. They spoke to Mail Online. I think it's the Daily Mail Online. Is that what that is?
The UK paper, yeah.
Spokesman for the family said they fear his body is being stored in a funeral home in Montreal while his widow, Jean, plays games with other family members that she has been at war with. Oh, my God. I mean, really, I don't know what to tell them all, but I guess there's just no winning with this Gene Kasem. I just don't think it's going to work. There's no time limit how long he can be kept in the undignified state, and Gene has sole control of his remains and is under no obligation to tell anyone where he is or what she intends to do with them. I mean...
And I hate to be graphic. In this
guys.
situation, what do? Do they embalm, then freeze it? Do they refrigerate it? It's just
Gross.
such a horrible thought.
It's terrible, and this is one of those things where I don't know the situation. I don't know the details. I don't know how they're handling this, but seems like everybody playing lowball here. That's the way I look at it. Last week, Aretha Franklin hit up a Johnny Rockets in the Niagara Falls area during a gig.
They never stood a chance.
Well, she almost engaged in fisticuffs.
Oh, no.
With one of the employees. Here's what happened. Aretha ordered a meal to go.
Oh.
But apparently she was too hungry to wait.
Oh.
And once she got her food, she sat down at one of the tables inside to eat it. A server scolded Aretha for doing that. Now, right away, I'm on Aretha's side because you go into a place like a Johnny Rockets and you get a to-go order. I've done that before where you order a to-go order or they give it to you by accident like at Subway.
Right.
And you sit down and you eat it in the store anyway.
Customer is always
There's
right.
a new plan.
Right.
I'm going to open this sack of great food up and I'm going to eat it right here.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
what's wrong with that? The server scolded her, telling her she wasn't allowed to eat takeout inside. What server is this? I'm all
Wow.
Aretha on this one so far. Aretha says the worker was, quote, very rude, unprofessional, and nasty. She stormed out without finishing her meal. The owner of that Johnny Rockets says he's sorry and called the worker a, quote, new and very young employee. Apparently, the employee won't be fired. I'd fire him.
Yeah.
And was reminded about the takeout policies. Aretha is moving on. She says, quote, over the years, I have always enjoyed a burger and a cherry Coke. This experience will not stop my enjoyment of burgers and cherry Cokes and talking to the classy and friendly people at Johnny Rockets. That is victory for Aretha Franklin.
There you go.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Hell yeah.
You know, the
Way to
only
go.
thing that maybe makes me want to side with the employee is that when she sat down, she did take up 3 tables.
Yeah, it's like me at the concert. Scarlett Johansson beat The Rock at the box office this weekend by a pretty wide margin. Oscar Santana saw Lucy, and it did $44 million. You like it, Oscar? Did you like
Should
the
have
movie?
seen Hercules. Let me
Wow.
tell you.
That's
And you know,
high praise.
I've got a low bar.
Wow. Note to self: do not see Lucy.
Yeah, watch it on DVD or order
not
it on
even
demand.
that.
And you could pass.
Yeah.
I will say you almost could pass.
Take her past
$29 million for Hercules. Even more impressive when you consider the budget for the two movies. Lucy cost an estimated $40 million to make, which means it's already made back its entire budget, while Hercules cost $100 million, so it hasn't even made a third of that yet. As for the other movies opening this weekend, the Michael Douglas movie And So It Goes made just over $4.5 million. Wow, in 8th place. And Philip Seymour Hoffman's A Most Wanted Man made $2.7 million at number 10. Just some crappy movies floating around, it looks like, right?
Yeah, I guess when's the next big open? Will be a Labor Day open, I guess?
Probably it would be. No, Labor Day. Is that a traditional big opening?
I think it is a pretty big open.
We have this weekend coming out. It's Stars of the what is it? Jesus. Is it Stars of the Galaxy? No.
Guardians.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, I should have known
Is that like a, what is that, a
Guardians of the
Transformers type
Galaxy
thing?
is not a Transformers. It's supposed to be a campy, like, Marvel film, if I'm not mistaken. But the premise is hilarious. One of the heroes is played by a fox, like a real fox, like a CGI fox.
Really?
And he has a gun.
Hey,
You
Mike,
can't go wrong there.
Let's not go.
Mark my words, it will be the #1 movie of the week.
Okay.
Nothing makes family outings more fun than math, right?
Right, I love math.
A psychologist in England came up with a mathematical formula for the perfect family day out. Rob, this one's for you.
I love it. Speak slowly. I'll jot it down.
Basically, enjoyment goes up based on things like spending the right amount of time together, visiting places you all like, you've got that,
Yes.
and how much you laugh, you've got that too.
Sure.
And it goes down based on things like bad weather and technology getting in the way. Here are the 7 ideal conditions for the perfect family day out based on this formula.
Okay.
You want me to go 7 to 1? There's 7 of them.
Please.
7, no more than 7 photos.
Okay.
You take more than that, so you might violate that one, right?
Probably,
okay.
yeah.
Number 6 is sunny weather. I think we can all agree
Need
on
to have
that,
that, right.
Number 5, hugging them 6 times. Lots of hugs for your kids.
But no more than 6.
It didn't say that.
I think
That's
6
good,
is
though.
the limit.
I
Yeah.
might have to agree with you on that. Number 4, kissing your kids 5 times.
I don't know. Kind of hot
Okay.
and sweaty. Stay away from that.
Laughing 11 times.
Okay, that's good.
Going to the beach and then a fair or carnival.
Also great.
And number 1, here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Spending about 4 hours together. Kids only want to spend 1 or 2 hours with their parents, but parents want 5 or 6. So compromise,
Nice,
ladies
that's
and
very
gentlemen.
good.
Yeah, not bad. I thought that was interesting.
They left off one great factor.
What's that?
Turkey leg.
Turkey leg.
Turkey leg.
All around.
Turkey leg at King's Dominion, yes sirree. All right, a little something. We're running
Please.
short on time here. A 25-year-old man is accused of attempting to shoplift a sushi sampler by hiding it in the front of his pants.
In his pants?
Yeah, Fort Walton Beach. Hi, home state. The officers were called to a Publix, hi supermarket I shop at, on July 19th for a retail theft, according to an arrest report. Let me see. A manager told officers she saw Anthony Arnold, Poucher, select a chef sampler package of sushi. She said he then concealed it in the front of his pants. She said he passed all the registers. And he walked out the door without attempting to pay. Poucher said he took the sushi because he was homeless and had no money for food, according to the report. The sushi was valued at $11.99. Poucher is charged with retail theft. His next scheduled court date is August 5th. If I mention the phrase, hung like a California roll, will I get in trouble? I'm sorry. Hey, everybody. Okay. Got to take a break. We will come back with the audio about Rob Spiewak right here on the Mike Olvera Show. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. I want to tell you again about Encore Insurance Services. Here's Oscar Santana, who is the number 1 client of Encore Insurance Services. Go
And
ahead,
happy
Oscar.
to be. Peace of mind is priceless, gentlemen. Let me tell you that when I went out of my way, I said, you know what? I'm going to see what life insurance is all about. I was a younger man. I think I was 33 when I signed up. And I said, is it too soon for life insurance? That was my inner monologue. And I found out it wasn't. Because anything can happen at any time. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Let's remember
right.
that.
Amen.
So, and the life I live, you know that there are many pitfalls
Yes.
and sharp corners that I could run
Right.
into.
I handed
you
him
could be-
copy, Mike. I don't know what's going on over there.
So
You could be leaning over to pick up a pebble, and Tanner Cooley could back over you with his smart car.
He
That's true.
could.
Mike,
He
you
could.
could be crushed by a stack of motion picture cameras.
Absolutely.
Accidents happen on set all the time, fellas.
Rushing to get to just another gig, you could be hit by a car.
Or when I'm cycling in traffic in the morning.
That's right. You could be hit by an airplane.
Even more dangerous. Give them the phone numbers. We got to move along. Yes.
It's 1-866-347-5748. That's 866-347-5748. Get a free life insurance quote today. That's smartterm.com. Do it.
Yeah, do it. And remember, that's where you can find the license disclaimer and quality customer service. Encore Insurance Services, LLC. We're doing a special push for Encore today because we love them and we want you to love them. And call that number because that will give you the free quote. And that's all we ask you to do.
Please.
866-347-5748. Without further ado, let's open up the audio vault for today, Monday, July 28, 2014. Rob Spiewak.
Mike O'Mara, podcaster. Mike O'Mara, baseball fan.
Oh, big time. Yeah, absolutely.
Your opinion of Greg Maddux? I'm sorry, I didn't think you were going to take a sip right there.
One of the greats. I mean, one of
Yeah.
the great pitcher for the Atlanta Braves. Really,
Inducted
really good.
Legend.
inducted into the Hall of Fame this weekend, and he brought up something during his Hall of Fame induction that most
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame induction that most
right.
people don't bring up, which is farts.
Mike led by example. Everything I was about to do on and off the field, he had already done. I was very fortunate to have a brother that I could learn from. He even taught me a little bit about science. It has to do with a little methane and a lighter, and I still get a huge kick out of it today.
And a big tip of the cap to David Hainline.
Amen.
I can't believe that The Simpsons are lowering the bar to this, but one of the big things that happened at Comic-Con over the weekend, they showed a 5-minute preview clip of the Simpsons Family Guy crossover episode.
Oh, wow.
So here is Homer with Peter Griffin.
I'm
This
excited.
will air, I think, later on this year.
It's huge.
Well, this Springfield place seems nice. We should visit here again.
I don't know, Lois. This seems like a one-shot deal. Oh, and don't drink the water. Everybody around here looks like they have hepatitis.
Apu, a dozen donuts for our albino visitors.
Wow, for real?
So here you go. 12, 10, 8 donuts.
Donut.
I think you and I are gonna get along just okay.
Simpsons used to be so funny.
Oh, no, I love it. Why is that?
Why do you love it? Why do you love it? I totally agree with Robin.
Well,
I'm not even a
Family Guy
Simpsons fan.
rules and the Simpsons rule. Why not put them together?
Because you know why? The Simpsons were always so much funnier and wittier and not low rung.
They can rule together. By the way,
yeah.
if they're doing this for ratings, good for them because it would seem weird if The Simpsons ever got canceled, right?
Well, it's been
Yeah,
on
it's been
for
on for so
20
long.
some
Yes.
years. Yeah, I don't know.
Amazing run.
I hate the fact that it's a gimmicky thing, and I think The Simpsons are better than that. That's just my opinion.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that one. On this particular one, even though I haven't been the Simpsons fan that you have,
Right.
I would imagine it's the same. And you're more, Oscar, would it be safe to say you're more of a Family Guy man?
Well, I would say that as an adult, but as a kid, I still have the I Carumba shirt. I still have the little doll. Like
Won't
I
you
have
wear
all
it
of
tomorrow,
that.
please?
Oh, it doesn't fit me anymore. But I definitely had almost every Simpson shirt out there. That was the cool thing to wear when we went to school.
When will we get the results of this as to how it did in the rating?
It won't air until later this year. This was just a 5-minute promo reel that they ran at Comic-Con.
You know it's going to be a blockbuster.
Of course it will. Of course it will. And another feather in Seth MacFarlane's hat.
Well, you know, he had a feather taken out of his hat with that crappy movie that he
Yeah, but the filming of Ted 2 started this past week.
Ooh,
The Thunder Buddies.
Ted 2. Look, you don't have to do a lot to make me laugh at Ted 2, okay?
And you know what?
You do
even
some of the other
You
stuff.
pulled me kicking and screaming onto the Ted bandwagon.
I know. Ted is okay. Is Wahlberg going to be in it?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
then I'm in.
But I just want to remind America of one thing, and the world, since this is a podcast. He still sucked as an Academy Award host.
Yes, he did.
So there you are.
And the West movie was terrible.
A non-issue. Let us close, Mike. Did you know, and this is going to affect us all, there is an impending opera strike in New York. Oh, no.
New York's Metropolitan Opera is preparing for a lockout next week if it can't reach a new contract with employees. I'm not saying things are bad, but the fat lady was like, should I warm up?
Jimmy Fallon made me laugh. That's your Magic Audio Vault. Have a great Monday, everybody.
That's it. We got to get out of here. This concludes our broadcast day, but dry your eyes. It's not goodbye. It's just so long. You can always write us a letter. Send it to TMOS, P.O. Box 2796, Leesburg, Virginia, 20177. Email it. All technical queries to ponyboy@MikeO'MaryShow.com. And if you'd like to be part of the legendarily popular Thursday mailbag segment, drop a line to the Jolly One, Rob at MikeO'MaryShow.com. Yeah, and remember, the official, I hate Bill O'Reilly. Anyway, the official TMOS e-voice line remains.
You are a
at
complicated man. You know that?
800-440-8167. Open all the time, no waiting. For Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana, this is Bill O'Reilly saying, see you next time, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Please remember to check out Encore Insurance Services, LLC. Since they compare the rates for you, they do all the work and all you have to do is save the money. Just visit smartterm.com or call 866-347-5748. Again, that's 866-347-5748 or smartterm.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.